April 2026 is not just a good month for indie games, it is a stacked month. The range of what is releasing here is almost absurd. You have hardcore survival, cozy konbinis, pixel art cyberpunk, medieval sandboxes, cartoon noir detectives, and a game about working in a Japanese convenience store in 1990. Something for literally everyone. April 2026 is here, and it is absolutely not messing around. We start on April 2nd with Fishbowl. The developers are two people who dreamed of making games since childhood and decided in the middle of the pandemic to finally do it. Part-time. That alone tells you everything you need to know about the mindset behind this project. Fishbowl is a narrative game about grief, dreams, and the quiet chaos of becoming an adult. You play as Alo, a 21-year-old who just started her first job in a new city and is living alone while grieving the death of her grandmother. She works from home as a video editor. She video calls her friends and family. She sorts through her grandmother's belongings. And then a magical talking fish from her childhood shows up and things get surreal in the best possible way. The game has no wrong endings. Every path is valid. Every day is shaped by small choices that add up to something genuinely emotional. One day later, on April 3rd, Still Neck arrives on PC via Steam as a psychological suspense narrative game. This one has been quietly building anticipation through its demo, which is already available on Steam. The premise is deliberately unsettling and the tone is heavy. No combat, no action, just atmosphere and tension and a story that leans into the discomfort of not knowing what is real. Not much has been officially revealed about the full plot, which is very much by design. If you played games like Omori or Yomeniki and you want something that sits in that same uncomfortable psychological space, keep an eye on this one. On April 7th, one of the most anticipated solo dev releases in recent memory. Road to Vostok, developed entirely by a Finnish solo developer, launches into Steam Early Access on this date after 4 years of solo development. The game is a hardcore single-player survival FPS set in a post-apocalyptic bordered zone between Finland and Russia. Your goal is simple on paper: survive, loot, and prepare to cross into Vostok, a permadeath zone where one mistake ends your run permanently. This is a game built on trust between a solo developer and a dedicated community. The permadeath zone mechanic is genius from a design perspective because it creates a layer of high-risk stakes tension on top of an otherwise manageable survival experience. You do not have to go into Vostok, but at some point you will want to. And when you do, everything is on the line. Wait, I'm going back one day because EvoCreo 2 drops on April 6th and it deserves its own mention. This is the PC sequel to a mobile tactical monster catching RPG that has built an audience of over 2 million players. The story this time sends you into the land of Shoru as a new cadet at the local police academy, investigating the mysterious disappearance of creatures called Creo. The game brings over 300 species of Creo, each with common, rare, crystal, and allied color variants. This one is interesting because it is a mobile origin game making its full PC debut, and the genre, tactical monster catching RPGs, is seriously underserved on PC. If you are a fan of the creature collection genre and you want something with a bit more mechanical depth, this one is worth keeping an eye on. April 8th brings the Occultist to PC via Steam, a dark action-adventure game that has been quietly building a following through consistent developer diary updates. Set in a world where the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural have collapsed, you play as an investigator navigating a city full of cults, secret societies, and things that should not exist. The gameplay blends exploration and investigation with real-time combat and a lore system that rewards players who dig deep into the world. The developer confirmed the April 8th release date in their most recent diary post, noting that the date has been chosen after a final round of community feedback. For fans of dark urban fantasy with a heavy narrative backbone, this one is worth your attention. April 14th brings one of the most visually anticipated indie games in years, Replaced. Developed by Sad Cat Studios, a small team originally based in Minsk, Belarus, and published by Thunderful. This game has had a story even before it launched. It was first revealed at E3 in 2021, then delayed multiple times. You play as Reach, an AI trapped in a human body, navigating the sprawling neon-lit streets of Phoenix City in an alternate 1980s America where the United States dropped nuclear bombs on itself instead of Japan at the end of World War II. The result is a dark, dystopian world where organ harvesting is currency and the city's walls separate the wealthy from everyone else, like always. A moody synth-driven soundtrack ties everything together. One day later, on April 15th, Valorborn enters Steam Early Access from Labs Games, a small studio whose previous title, Land of the Vikings, funded this project. Valorborn is an open-world sandbox RPG set in a living medieval fantasy world that continues with or without you. Villagers follow daily routines. Factions compete for power. Dangers move across the land whether you choose to get involved or not. You start in Theron, a kingdom that rose from the ruins and banned magic entirely, hunting those who use it. From there, you choose your story. Play as a thief, pick locks, sell stolen goods, be a hunter, track animals, trade belts. Every building and cave in the world is fully enterable. Permadeath is a core mechanic, but the game is designed to make loss feel meaningful rather than punishing. Early access is planned for at least 1 year before full release. So, April 16th, and here comes one of the most visually distinctive games of the year. Bao's PI for Hire, developed by Fumi Games and published by Playside Studios. If you have not seen this game yet, stop what you're doing and look it up right now, because it looks like someone took a 1930s Steamboat Willie era Disney cartoon, crossed it with Doom, and added a full noir detective story on top. Everything is black and white, hand-drawn frame by frame, with that classic rubber hose animation style. It is genuinely unlike anything else releasing this year. You play as Jack Pepper, a hard-boiled private investigator in the city of Mouseburg. Of course, it's called Mouseburg. The game features over 20 noir-infused levels, more than a dozen cartoon weapons, and the campaign estimated at 12 to 20 hours depending on how you explore. Fumi Games had a clear creative vision, held on through multiple delays to get it right, and the result is something that could only exist because a small team was willing to commit fully to an insane artistic idea. Also, April 16th, Gecko Gods, developed by InResin and published by Super Rare Originals, launches on PC, PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch after nearly 4 years since its initial reveal in 2022. It was first delayed from a 2023 release, then from a fall 2025 window, and it is finally here. You are a small gecko. You explore a forgotten archipelago built for curiosity. You scale sunlit ruins, weave through lush caves, sail between islands on a tiny wooden boat, solve puzzles at your own pace, snack on insects, and uncover the remnants of a lost civilization. The entire game is about the freedom of movement, and the gecko's agility means you can climb almost anything in any direction. It is rare and it is refreshing. And the demo has been collecting positive Steam community posts from people who just wanted more of it. April 23rd, Outbound. Developed by a two-person studio from the Netherlands. Their previous game, Above Snakes, sold over 60,000 copies in its first 6 months. And that success funded everything you see here. Outbound is a cozy open-world exploration game set in an utopian near future. You start with an empty electric camper van and turn it in the home of your dreams, on wheels, moving through a colorful world of diverse biomes. The game launched its Steam demo at the Next Fest February 2026, and it seems that it hit over 1 million wishlists, making it one of the most wishlisted indie games of the year. For anyone who has ever dreamed of van life but does not want to deal with van maintenance in real life, this one was made specifically for you. On April 30th, right at the end of the month, inKONBINI, One Store, Many Stories, developed by Nagai Industries, a Tokyo-based independent studio, and published by Beep Japan. This game has featured in Valve's official Steam Next Fest trailer and highlighted during the Nintendo Switch Indie World Showcase in March 2026. That is not nothing. You play as Nakoto Hayakawa, a college student spending her summer working behind the counter of her aunt's small-town convenience store in early 1990s Japan. There is no combat, no quests, no world-ending threat. You stock shelves, tidy displays, open the store, and then you listen. Because every customer who walks through that door has a life, a story, a moment of crisis or joy, and your choice in conversation affect where those stories go. The atmosphere is designed with a level of care that is almost unsettling in how well it works. The hum of the fridges, the rustle of bags, the sound of rain outside. Every task in this game is designed to put you in a calm, focused state before the stories begin. So, that is April 2026. 11 indie games, 1 month, and honestly, it feels like the indie industry looked at every argument that small teams cannot compete and decided to just demolish it all at once. Let me know in the comments, which of these 11 games are you most excited for? Are you heading into Vostok and hoping you survive? Are you solving crimes in Mausburg? Or are you quietly working the night shift at a konbini in 1990s Japan? Drop it down here, I want to know. And like always, thanks for watching.